wonderful milestone. It is now my pleasure to invite our first speaker, His Excellency Ambassador Maurizio Massari. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear friends and colleagues. Listening to this presentation and the thoughts, as maybe many of you might know, next year is going to be my last year in diplomatic service after 40 years of career. But the relief was that to hear that in 1955, at least, I was not born yet. But dear friends, the Secretary-General Atul Khare, dear colleagues, excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished military representatives, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to welcome you this evening to the event New Elements in the Service of Peace, held on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Italy's admission to the United Nations. 70 years ago, Italy joined the UN alongside 15 other nations, affirming its unwavering commitment to a vision of peace, of multilateral cooperation, and shared responsibility among peoples. It was a choice that reflected not only Italy's return to the international community, but also its deep conviction that global challenges require global solutions, that peace and security can only be built together. This evening we celebrate that enduring commitment, one that has found expression over the decades in Italy's steadfast contribution to the United Nations peacekeeping operations. From Lebanon to the Balkans, from Africa to the Middle East, Italian men and women wearing the blue helmet have served with professionalism, courage, and compassion, upholding the values enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations: dignity, solidarity, and the peaceful settlement of disputes. Their service embodies the very best of what the international community can achieve when united in purpose. This is also a testament to the partnership between the United Nations and member states, one that continues to evolve in response to the new challenges to peace and security. The mission presents a commemorative volume prepared by the Minister of Defense and the Italian Armed Forces General Staff, here represented by our military advisor, Major General Atul Khare. This work pays tribute to our remarkable journey defined by dedication, generosity, and an unshakable belief in the power of peace. It honors those who have served, and most of all, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. As we reflected on 70 years of shared history, let us also look forward to the continued cooperation between Italy and the United Nations, to the renewal of our collective commitment to peacekeeping and to the enduring hope that inspired the founding of these organizations. And this was the official speech. Let me add some words of my own. I think that I want to really stress here the importance of the UN peacekeeping and multilateralism in general. The UN has proved all over these years, we're talking about 70 years, that it's an indispensable organization to make the world more stable, predictable, or at least less unpredictable. And to this end, peacekeeping missions remain a central pillar, a central tool of the UN. Of course, the mandates have to be adapted to the new realities, the increased complexities at national and regional level. But we have a good roadmap, which is the new agenda for peace, which was proposed by the Secretary General 2 years ago, and which has been embedded also in the Pact for the Future. We also have a resolution 2719, approved also 2 years ago, and is just waiting to be implemented. And we also have the peace-building architecture that has a great potential and that can complement the traditional peacekeeping functions. So we just have to use at best what we have and what we have decided together to have. And to do so, we have to provide adequate funding for the peacekeeping and the UN in general. Of course, while supporting the UN 80 efforts to make the UN more efficient, streamlined, and more fit for purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Massari, for your introduction. We'd like to invite to the podium Under-Secretary-General Atul Khare.
Your Excellency and my dear friend, Ambassador Maurizio Massari, General Alfonso Manzo, Excellencies, my dear colleagues, acting military advisors, General Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Department of Operation Support, and indeed on behalf of the United Nations, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Italy on the 70th anniversary of Italy's accession to the United Nations. Congratulazioni. This is indeed a milestone. The United Nations expresses its gratitude for Italy's unwavering support and contributions to peacekeeping operations since the 1960s, contributing to more than 30 missions across Africa, Asia, and Europe. We pay tribute to Italian peacekeepers for their service in United Nations peacekeeping missions and honor the brave women and men who paid the ultimate sacrifice. We will never forget your service or the sacrifices of your families. Italy has been a very valuable partner to my department in advancing peacekeeping and operational excellence. We have much to be grateful for. Together, we have achieved meaningful progress across a wide range of initiatives, from strengthening our Global Service Center in Brindisi to improving environmental management, advancing innovative initiatives such as the instant feedback system, the return, refurbish, and reuse, otherwise known as the 3R program, the UN Secure Network pilot, supporting capacity building under the African Union, United Nations Knowledge and Expertise Exchange Program, and of course, our flagship, the Triangular Partnership Program. Please allow me to briefly reflect on a few areas where this partnership has truly made a difference. We wish to reiterate our sincere appreciation to the government of Italy for its generous financial contribution toward the enhancement of the United Nations Global Service Center in Brindisi. What has it done? This investment has strengthened the strategic partnership between the United Nations and the host country and offered an opportunity to further elevate the relevance and operational effectiveness of the Global Service Center and the Secretariat as a whole, particularly in the context of Secretary-General's UN 80 initiative. The Global Service Center continues to play a critical role in enabling field missions and other client entities throughout their life cycle, providing rapid deployment and response capabilities, and driving innovation in digital supply chain management. I also appreciate, secondly, the government of Italy's continued support to UNIFIL through the contribution of 7 military units, especially during this exceptionally difficult financial situation faced by the organization. I want to particularly highlight that Italy's provision of air assets for UNIFIL have ensured the successful execution of casualty evacuation or CASEVAC operations, which have significantly enhanced missions' operational effectiveness and delivery of high-quality, efficient medical care in the field. We value Italy's sustained engagement in advancing medical training and readiness, including its support to the UN Clinics meeting organized by the Global Service Center which brings together over 100 health managers and key medical personnel from more than 50 duty locations. Of course, and tomorrow I go to the embassy of Ambassador Maurizio Massari in the morning for a meeting of a group of friends which he co-chairs and which was founded by Italy, the group of friends for leading on environmental management in the field, otherwise known as LEAF. Congratulations again and a big thank you. Your generous contributions have allowed us to accelerate our efforts to build the capacity of field staff in the area of environmental management. Your recent pledge to deliver environmental protection courses is also invaluable. It allows us to sustain improvements made while maintaining a strong focus on managing environmental risks and leaving a positive legacy. And I can go on and on, but then what will happen to the reception? So let me just reflect, shifting away from the prepared text, on a personal association. Italy has always sent its best to the United Nations. In the last 10 years, from Sebastiano Cardi to Maria Angela Zappia to Maurizio Massari, I want to say a big thank you to all of you personally. And in the field of peacekeeping, it is rare, I don't think that it has happened in any country, that from this country, 2 force commanders have actually become the Chief of Defense Staff. My very good friend, late General Claudio Daciano, to whom I pay respects, and of course, to the current Chief of Defense Staff, my very good friend, General Luciano Otterano, both of whom held the position of Force Commander of UNIFIL. So thank you for sending the best. As I said, thank you for sending the best both to the United Nations and to its peacekeeping operations. We look forward to continuation of our close cooperation based on the mutual confidence and friendship that we have built together for so long. Gracias per il vostro sostegno e impegno.
Excellency, for your words, wonderful words, thank you very much. Excellency, Ambassador Maurizio Massari, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. Let me join the distinguished authorities who have spoken before me in expressing my own appreciation and that of General Luciano Portolano, my Chief of Defense Staff, for your presence here this evening. Celebrating Italy's 70 years at the United Nations offers us the opportunity to honor not only the history written in official documents, but also what is deeply engraved in the very soul of the Italian Armed Forces personnel, shared obviously with many other nations, through the fatigue and the courage of the women and the men who have worn the blue helmet to defend peace, even when peace itself seemed merely utopian. Italian military personnel from all branches of the armed forces and the Carabinieri have served honorably and devotedly in UN missions across every continent, bringing aid and hope to regions marked by violence, disorder, and suffering. More than 50 Italian soldiers have fallen in the line of duty under the United Nations emblem. We express our deepest gratitude to them, to all who have served and continue to serve the cause of peace, and to their generous and courageous families. The volume and exhibition organized by Italian Armed Forces are a well-deserved tribute to those who have worked to make the war a more peaceful place, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. To those who have served and continue to serve, to those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and to those who will continue to carry the UN flag around the world in their mission to safeguard peace. It is our history, but above all, it is our mission. The images and text presented here bear witness not only to the professionalism of our military personnel, but also their humanity, their respect for local cultures, their ability to engage with communities, to mediate and to building lasting bonds. The book and the exhibition open with a brief introduction to the establishment of the United Nations and on the process of Italy's admission. They move on peacekeeping operations, divided in 3 sections, that reflect the sequence of the different historical phases I will soon describe, highlighting Italy's commitment to UN peace mission through numerous images and accompanying captions displayed on the screens behind me. Briefly summarizing this context, it's clear that the concept of UN peacekeeping began to emerge in the early 1950s, when Dag Hammarskjöld, Secretary General of the United Nations from 1953 to 1961, introduced a new approach to managing international crises. He moved beyond the simple deployment of uniformed personnel with observation and interposition tasks to a more structured mechanism guided by 3 core principles: neutrality, the consent of the parties in conflict, and the use of force limited to the defense of UN personnel. Operation deployed by the United Nations between the mid-1960s and the late 1980s helped to establish the procedures and practices for containing regional conflicts. The challenges and the critical issues they encountered over those 25 years foreshadowed, in many ways, the far more complex crises that would emerge, with even greater intensity from the 1990s onward. With the end of the Cold War, a period that had profoundly shaped international politics and its key tenets, including intervention, the use of force, sovereignty, and multilateralism, UN peacekeeping operations regained prominence. In the first quarter of the 21st century, beginning with the landmark of the Reini Report, which set the foundation of modern peacekeeping and peacebuilding, UN operations reached a record high in 2010 with more than 100,000 uniformed peacekeepers deployed at the same time across the globe. During the same period, financial resources devoted to peacekeeping operations more than doubled the total amount allocated to all the UN missions from 1948 to 2000. Finally, turning to present days, our analysis of international landscape reveals an increasingly widespread and fragmented pattern of conflicts, rapid geopolitical shifts, and mounting challenges to global stability. A stark reminder that collective security can never be taken for granted. In this context, international and multilateral cooperation remain the most effective tool for addressing complex crises, promoting reconciliation, and protecting civilian populations. Now, please allow me to conclude with a few words of special thanks. First and foremost, I wish to thank all the UN authorities, Mr. Khare before, permanent representatives, military and police advisors, and all those who have honored us with their presence. I would also like to thank everyone who helped make this project possible. my collaborators at military office in New York, and the personnel of 5th Department of Italian Defense General Staff in Rome, the historical archives of the United Nations, the Presidency of the Italian Republic, the Presidency of the Council of Ministers, the Minister of Defense, and the Italian Armed Forces. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to General Luciano Cortolano again for the trust he placed in me, giving me the honor of organizing this exhibition and writing this volume, together with Professor Maria Gabriella Pasqualini. Writing this book and conceiving this exhibition has been a great honor for us. We wish to recount the story of 70 years of Italian Blue Helmets in service of peace, not as a closed chapter, but as a living and coherent commitment of history, sacrifice, dedication, and professionalism. With these feelings of gratitude, I thank you sincerely for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Major General Fonso. As we look back, as we literally look back to this banner here, which is the cover of the commemorative volume, this image says it all. It's emblematic of the spirit of this event, emblematic of the spirit of the celebration in general. It's a photograph taken of our first Secretary General, Dag Hammarskjöld, shaking the hands of our very first permanent representative of Italy to the United Nations, Maurizio Massari. Next to them, it's also a new member of the permanent representative of Australia, permanent representative of Hungary, and then the permanent representative of Portugal, standing next to Ambassador Caschi as they hoist the Italian flag up for the first time at the United Nations headquarters in New York. That moment, immortalized on the cover of this volume, it reminds us that Italy's partnership with the United Nations has always been rooted in purpose, principle, and peace. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mark this historic anniversary, we also renew today that commitment with gratitude for the past and determination for the present and the future. And now I am pleased to say we will turn to other essential pillars of successful diplomacy, and that is good company and light refreshments. No drafting papers, no working groups, just good conversation. Please enjoy.